sports tourer launched in back 2011 at Indian markets. All the time, this bike was a revolutionary one. This 249cc single-cylinder 4-valve engine is very strong and very refined, having a maximum power of 26.5 bhp at 8500 rpm, which have a 22.9 Nm of torque at 7000 rpm and a 6-speed very powerful gearbox. Coming to the tires, this bike has front tire of 110/70/17 Contigo front tires and 140 section 17/17-inch alloy wheels coming at the back, which we could also fit 150 size Michelin radial tires too. That helps more stability, more life and more cornering too. Coming to the front brakes, it has a 296 mm disc calipers with also ABS, and it can easily slow this vehicle from 134 or 120 to 0 km/h. For the rear brakes, it's a 220 mm bi-brake disc brakes coming at the back with the Contigo tires as stock. Stepping to the meter console, we have an analog tachometer which shows a neutral light in that, and a digital speedometer which also shows the fuel gauge and the heat gauge, which shows whether the bike is overheated or not, and it also shows the time and also the trip meter, which also having the odometer. This meter box is lagging something that I will say later as the con part of this motorcycle, and this console is very much visible at the night too. So coming to the chassis and suspension of this vehicle, this have a twin spar chassis and a telescopic front suspension which allow a good amount of off-roading, and a Pro-Link monoshock suspension which is some kind of unique by Honda. The changes that happened to this motorcycle by Honda was the LED headlight and the changes in colors. This headlight is not projector setup, but it almost illuminates almost all the part of the road, and it is a very good type of LED that installed by Honda. Hats off to Honda for this nice upgradation. That's all about the spec and the upgradations and all. Now let's step into the pros and cons of the motorcycle, the main part of the video. Let me explain the pros first. This engine is very refined. The heat dissipation is very low. The gearbox is very nimble and very crisp. Even if this motorcycle is used for a long time, the gearbox will remain stiff and crisp. That's a kind of promise given by Honda. Another thing that I felt from this motorcycle is the riding comfort that a sports motorcycle ever give in a single cylinder. That's why this machine is called the best single cylinder sports tourer. The rider can move back to the seat and lean front, and we can ride in an aerodynamical position. Or else if we are tired, we can move front in the seat and ride an upright position. The handle offers both of this riding comfort by this motorcycle. We can only get this kind of comfort in a 2-cylinder motorcycle like Ninja or Yamaha R3. The mirror of this motorcycle is having a very wide view that we could know what's happening behind. The only problem is that we can't sneak peek through the traffic. The all new graphics and all new LED headlamps make this bike very cool and have a lot of attention by the people. The clutch of this motorcycle is very light, and it's having a very good play with the gearbox of this motorcycle, so that we could easily shift the gears and have a very good top end of by this motorcycle. So, at the mind of a pillion, this bike is very comfortable. For long tours, we can easily tour kilometers and kilometers. Now, it's time for the problems of this bike. Overall, it's a sports tourer which have a very less heat dissipation. So, this bike is a bike which don't have much cones. But I will share what I felt from this motorcycle. The low end torque of this motorcycle is very slow. The power of this motorcycle lies in 5000 to 8000 rpm. That means the mid-range of this motorcycle is very good, and the low end is very slow and low, or the low end is very bad maybe. So this makes the bikes takes lot of time for the 0 to 100. Another low quality that's not a Honda thing that I felt in the motorcycle is that fuel cap is not attached to the motorcycle. We are giving a 2.20 lakhs and we are opening a fuel tank like a normal Pulsar 150 or something. That's a bad thing by Honda. I'm a guy who is 6 feet tall, so you can see while turning the bike and turning the U-turns, the split handle of this bike is touching my left leg. That's a kind of uncomfortable that I felt from this motorcycle. I don't know what others felt, but it really felt in my leg. So as I mentioned before, this bike's meter console lacks something. It doesn't have a gear shift indicator like all other later class motorcycle in this segment, and it only have one trip meter. That's one of the lag that I felt in this motorcycle's meter console. While engine wise, I felt this bike really need a slipper clutch. While in the corners or in the high speeds, the slipper clutch is lagging. Even if the clutch is light, slipper clutch must have been added to this motorcycle. The off-roading capability of this motorcycle is bit low because of the telescoping suspension. We can feel each and every bump and stone to our handlebars. If you are looking for a bike which have a very good performance at the low end and top end, and which needs 5 or 6 seconds to 0 to 100, which have an average speed 2 trip meters and all the slipper clutch, all the things, and like to ride aggressive, this is not your motorcycle. This is a motorcycle that's a proper tourer, which is not that aggressive as RC390 and not as aggressive as the RR310. And it is not the proper upright tourer as the Dominar. If you felt this review is useful and helped you to purchase a very good motorcycle, please show some love in the form of comments and likes. And don't forget to subscribe my channel. And overall, please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the Turbo Shifter. If you have any doubts about the motorcyclings, please follow me and message me in Instagram. Thank you for watching. Hey, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you can easily get my notifications. Bye bye. Safe ride.